Someone disrespects you, and your brain just goes blank. You think of the perfect response 3 hours later in the shower. I'm going to give you 5 responses that work in any situation: a rude coworker, a dismissive family member, a stranger who decides you're an easy target. The last one uses 0 words, and it is the most devastating thing you can do to someone who disrespects you. Stay till the end, because that one changes how people treat you permanently. I used to be the person who smiled and stayed quiet, walked away, replayed it for days, not because I was weak, but because nobody ever taught me what calm, controlled power actually looks like. This isn't about being aggressive. It isn't about winning arguments. It's about making one thing crystal clear to anyone who crosses the line: that you are not someone who can be disrespected twice. Let's get into it. Tactic 1. The pause and stare. The first mistake people make when someone is rude, they react immediately. That's the worst thing you can do, because that's exactly what a rude person is counting on. They want to throw you off balance. They want the reaction. So here's what you do instead: nothing. The moment someone says something cutting, you stop talking, you stop moving, you look at them, hold eye contact, 2 full seconds, no smile, no words, just stillness. That silence is unbearable for them, because now the awkward energy in the room belongs to them, not you. People who are used to getting reactions don't know what to do with none. Most rude people will stumble, backtrack, or go quiet themselves. But some of them, they double down. They think your silence is weakness, and that is the biggest mistake they will make, because that's exactly when you use Tactic 2, and Tactic 2 uses their own words against them. Tactic 2, mirror it back. Here's something most people don't know about rude behavior. People rarely hear how they sound until someone plays it back to them. This tactic is called mirroring, and it's one of the most disarming things you can do. Someone at work says, "That was a really stupid idea." You look at them, calm, no expression, and you say, "A stupid idea." That's it. You repeat their last 3 words back to them like a question, nothing else. Now they have to respond to themselves. They have to either justify it or walk it back. Either way, you've won, because you didn't raise your voice, you didn't get emotional, you just held up a mirror. I've used this in meetings, at family dinners, with strangers. It works every single time because nobody has a good defense against their own words. Now, mirroring works beautifully with strangers and coworkers, but what about someone who's been doing this to you for years? A parent, a sibling, a friend who always has a comment? For that, you need something that goes a little deeper. Tactic 3. And it's a question, one they will never be able to answer. Tactic 3. The calm question. This one feels too simple. That's what makes it so effective. When someone says something disrespectful, you look at them, genuinely calm, no sarcasm, no edge, and you ask, "Why would you say that?" 4 words, that's all. Not aggressive, not passive, just a real calm question. Here's why it destroys them. It forces them to justify their rudeness, out loud, in front of whoever is watching, and they can't. Nobody has a good answer for why they chose to be unkind, so they either stumble through an excuse, which makes them look worse, or they apologize. Both outcomes are yours. I've watched people use this with family members who had been making snide comments for years. One question, the room went quiet. The behavior stopped. But here's where it gets complicated. What if the rude person has actual power over you? A boss, a manager, someone you can't afford to alienate. You can't mirror them. You can't ask, "Why would you say that?" without risking your job. So what do? Tactic 4 is specifically built for that, and it's the most sophisticated one on this list. Tactic 4. Name the behavior. This one requires the most control, but it's the one that earns the most long-term respect. When someone with authority over you is consistently dismissive, condescending, or rude, you don't explode and you don't stay silent. You name the pattern, calmly, professionally, privately. You find a moment one-on-one and you say something like this: I've noticed that when things get stressful, the tone of our conversations shifts. I just want to make sure we're communicating in a way that works for both of us. Read that again. You didn't accuse anyone. You didn't get emotional. You didn't threaten. You named the behavior, and you framed it as something both of you need to solve. That sentence does three things at once. It signals that you noticed, it signals that you won't keep ignoring it, and it leaves them no room to deny it without looking defensive. 9 times out of 10, the behavior changes, because now they know you see it, and people who disrespect others in private rely on you not saying anything. But what about the 1 time out of 10? What about the person who genuinely doesn't care, who has no shame, no self-awareness, who will keep going no matter what you say? There's only one move left, and it's the one I promised you at the start. Tactic 5, 0 words, more power than anything else on this list. Tactic 5, the clean exit. Someone is rude to you, and you've tried the silence, you've tried the question. Nothing is landing. They don't care. Here's what you do. You look at them, not with anger, not with hurt, just awareness, like you're seeing them clearly, maybe for the first time. You give one slow nod, and you walk away. No explanation, no last word, no dramatic exit. You just leave. That nod says everything. It says, I heard you, I'm not surprised, and you are not worth one more second of my energy. Here's what most people don't understand. Rude people need your reaction, your anger, your tears, your frustration. That's the fuel. The moment you remove the fuel, there's nothing left to burn. You don't just end the interaction, you end their power over you. And the beautiful thing? They'll think about that nod for days. You won't think about them at all. The goal was never to destroy someone who disrespects you. The goal is to make it absolutely clear to them and to yourself that you are not someone who can be disrespected twice. 5 tactics: the pause, the mirror, the calm question, name the behavior, and the clean exit. You don't need all 5 every time. You just need the right one, and now you have all of them. Most people spend their whole lives choosing between exploding and going silent. You don't have to choose either anymore. Respect isn't something you beg for. It's something you make undeniable.